Let's do Papa on Trump snitching on Epstein. Papa on Trump snitching on Epstein. Brendan Schaub on Trump allegedly snitching on Epstein. I think this comes from that article, or there's a file from the Epstein files that alleges that Trump was one of the people that kind of whistleblowed, or was one of the people that gave the FBI or the police a heads up until some of the deplorable things that Epstein was doing allegedly. I don't believe it, but let me just check.
They've had these files forever, by the way.
I know.
It's not like they just got them.
Yeah.
Trump, they're aware of it. Elon's aware of it, right? So Elon and Trump are fighting, blah, blah, blah. Release him. You're in the files. And the whole media goes crazy. Everyone's like, yeah, Trump's in the files. That's why he's keeping him. Trump goes, I'll release him. Fuck it. You know what? I didn't want to do it. I'm going to do it. What do we find out? That Trump in 2012 notified authorities and goes, you guys need to look into Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. They're fucking devils.
He found out about it.
Not only did he find out, not only did he find out about it, he reported it.
Look that up. I think it was even earlier, right?
Might have been 2008.
Earlier,
might have been
I
2008.
think it was before that. He said, you got to look into, he banned him from our law.
Hold on. This is in an email to them. This is in all the DOJ, all the thing they released.
Wow.
This is Trump going, get these fucking two in prison right now.
Damn. Hold on.
20 years ago.
It was 20 years ago. Hold on. That everyone knew about Epstein.
Called Maxwell evil.
Wow.
And
wow.
Here's what's great.
And I thought too, I was talking to somebody who's kind of really follows this stuff and kind of, pretty influential. And
there's always a mystery person they speak to. There's always some mystery. Like, I never understand. Why would somebody super high level, super plugged in, super knowledgeable, why would they want to talk to you though? I don't understand how they have all these friends who are so influential, so important. Why would they want to talk to you? Why would they want to talk to you? Anyway, even if that's the case, why can't you look at this? Why can't you look out for this stuff yourself? Why? You know what I mean? Like, yes, have somebody else tell him about this stuff. He can't just look for himself. Somebody has to tell him.
He said that these next 3 million files, like, this is going to be bigger than Watergate or anything, because the people it's going to take down it's crazy. And I thought that there was that Trump was going to be in really implicated.
That's what they want. That's what they want you to think.
Wow.
So Trump goes, no, I can't. No. Okay.
Thank God, goodness, you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this.
That was 20 years ago, Bubba.
You just said Trump told.
Hey, the only thing the Epstein files about Trump is him reporting him to the police. And you know what's even more hilarious? ABC, CNN, NBC all had to report that yesterday.
So everybody,
how great is that?
Yeah. So
what do you mean? Why is he taking so much credit? Why is he taking so much happiness and glee and satisfaction from this? It's not as if there's a police report that says Trump was an early person to kind of report Epstein to the police or anything. If I'm not mistaken, it's an account from a police officer some years prior, some years after it happened, right? Basically informing them that he was happy about the arrest because that guy is a bad guy. There is no paper trail to show, there is no evidence to show that Trump called the police early to report on Epstein or something, or snitch on him. There is none of that to see. None of that. No evidence of that whatsoever. What there is like an account of a police officer, from many years after, who's also, I think, a Trump guy as well, basically saying, yeah, Trump told me this one time, like an anecdotal case. Basically, there's no track record, no recording, no nothing of Trump telling the police back then, anyway, at least. And also, the simple explanation for even that whole thing with the police officer could be the case of they obviously had a falling out, right? At one point, Epstein and Trump were close, but they did have a falling out over something, whatever, legitimate, whatever happened. So it wouldn't surprise me if you had a falling out with somebody like that and you wanted to get them back, and you're out here fucking talking to the police saying, yeah, you're happy that they got arrested. Why wouldn't you say that? But to act like he's acting as if like Trump was never involved, he was actually one of the people that he was a whistleblower against Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. He knew what was going on and he stayed away because he's a good guy. Like, huh? What?
Powerful bunch.
The guy we voted for didn't do anything wrong. After the post met clarity, he called the cops.
Exactly.
We were right the whole time.
Exactly.
He is one of the good guys.
Exactly. That's it. Post nut clarity. That's exactly it. Post nut clarity.
check this out. So I talked to somebody who
Big up Assad Aziz. That's perfectly it. Perfectly it.
is really smart and follows.
Yeah, you
stuff.
keep saying you got somebody.
And I said, I want to know, why are we not hearing more about like I said, the people who was the one who was able to say with the power, who had the power to tell the Florida Police Department to stand down.
Why is he so obsessed with this? Why is Brian Callen so obsessed with finding out who? Why does this worry him or bother him more than the perpetrators of these alleged illicit, sadistic, horrendous, abusive acts against women and children and shit? Why does this bother him more? Oh, who told the FBI to stand down? Like, he's worried way more about that than the actual perpetrators of the alleged crimes. I do find that rather interesting. It's the weirdest thing to worry about.
Or give him the sweetheart plea deal. And then who had the power to tell the press, you can't talk about this? Like, that's crazy power, right? This is where people like Sam Tripoli are like, there's somebody running a lot. And I'm like, no. But now you see this and you go, well, somebody had to have outlandish amount of power, right? And why do we not hear about it? Like, I want to know who literally said, well, Brian, we're covering for, but he said this, listen, stop for a second. He said this, he said, well, what happens probably is somebody who's kind of official in intelligence calls up the police department and they say, look, I know you've got this pedophile or you got this scumbag. You have 40 underage witnesses. If you expose him, you could be putting a whole bunch of our intelligence operatives at risk.
Or you're not going to become the chief of police and
whatever
Palm
it is,
Beach, whatever it is.
But they say something like that where they go, "This is a matter of national security."
Yeah, maybe.
I know, right? I don't see that.
I'm not buying that.
What I'm trying to say is that he floated that idea because I said I don't understand how anybody could cover for this guy.
Because you're talking about the most powerful politicians in the.
How can you not understand this, bro? Your dad works for the CIA. Allegedly, your dad was a big banker back in the day. Allegedly, you hang around with a lot of alleged powerful, rich, influential people. How could you not understand why people were covering, why people were basically making excuses for, turning a blind eye to, getting bribed, manipulated, how can you not get your head wrapped around it? I find this like, whatever, man, just strange. It's so fake, all this shit, so fake.
In the fucking world, but then also remember.
But I'm talking about the investigation.
I know, yeah. I know.
Like, you don't even know
that's a different side of it. I'm with you, but I'm saying as far as the public getting familiar with this, well, who owns the networks? Who owns CNN? Who owns Fox? Who owns these
powerful
ABC?
People. Yeah,
these people who are also
they play. So they also play ball. So they play ball.
Yes.
But they play ball. Like, so if you go to the editor-in-chief of the New York Times and say, this is really sensitive information. If you release it, people could die in the field. And they go, all right, well, hold off. That's always been the case. It's always.
No, I hear you. It's not with this.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Not with this. They go to who owns it. They go to the top dog.
Okay, then my question is, who? Why would there be why would there be an apparatus of people who would cover for this monster? You had 40 underage witnesses. We knew he was a complete scumbag in 2008. This guy should have been in jail for the rest of his life. No questions asked, without even questions. Because
those people that could make the changes, they were probably communicating with him. They're probably involved with him, and he probably has a lot of shit on him. Who goes, come after me.
Right.
Go ahead, come after me.
Right.
I'm releasing the fuck. If I'm going down, you're going down. And they go, whoa, hold on.
Right.
Hey guys. And they call, hey man.
Right.
This isn't the guy.
Yeah. So he had the goods on some very powerful people.
The most powerful.
Why is he not understand? This Brian thing that he's doing, where he's trying to pretend not to know what's going on, but then knows everything that goes on, but then doesn't read anything, but then has strong opinions about things, and doubles down on things that he doesn't know about. It's just so annoying. He's trying to drive his head through a wall. But again, like I said previously, as frustrating as it is to listen to Brian when it comes to Epstein, I have to always remember his opinion is somewhat tainted. His opinion and point of view is a little bit biased and a little bit compromised because of his own rape allegations, because of his own abuse, harassment allegations. You know what I mean? So he's a little bit sensitive for this sort of stuff. And I think my theory has always been, I think Brian kind of feels like he kind of got done dirty because there's other people in the industry that do worse than him. He's like, oh my god, why did the only person I got caught? What about that guy? What about her? What about him? You know. So I think he's annoyed at that because he knows, you know, he knows the industry's been around for fucking, you know, he's nearly a fucking 100 years old. He's been around forever. So he's probably looking at this thing thinking, fucking hell, how did this guy get away with what he got away with? And I did X, Y, and Z, and my whole career went down, you know, a fucking drain. So I think that's part of why he does this whole thing, but it is still annoying to hear anyway. Like, how could he have gotten away with this? It's like, bro, how did you get away with what you got away with? You seem to be doing okay for yourself for somebody that allegedly, you know, imposed themselves on somebody. Come on, bro.
And so they all covered for him.
Yes, because they're like, oh fuck.
Okay, now
now even and now this is where it gets weird. Now some of those people, it's a lot of underage and there's innocent kids and sex trafficking. That's one fucking horrible dark side. Some of the dark side is just very powerful dudes going to the island or going to New York and fucking young models. Maybe they're 21, 20, they're of age, but they're married with kids.
Yeah.
So they're like, whoa, hold on.
Right,
hold on.
Yeah.
No. All right, let me make some calls because I don't want to blow up my marriage.
I don't want to blow up my marriage.
Lose half my shit.
My reputation.
Also, I'm running again this year.
All that
That's
stuff.
what it is.
Of course.
So you're dealing with a super high level.
Yeah.
And then you're dealing with a super dark level who are like, we cannot let this
and
get
I'm
out.
sure that there were
together.
two camps.
Oh, yeah, but I'm sure they all
Well,
come,
it's like the Vatican.
They all come
it's
together.
like the Vatican.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Vatican, that French journal.
Great topic to talk about in the comedy podcast, though. Great topic to talk about in the comedy podcast.